Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 120. And we are all in the same room together. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP.
My name is Jamil Damji, Mr. Astral Flipping and Keegley.
And I'm Pace Morby. I'm feeling nuts today.
So nuts. Me too, Pace. As a matter of fact,
You guys, we got a balls to the wall show for you today.
this is going to be the nutcracker today. Nutcracker of all shows.
We're going to swell up with so much value. You won't even know.
There's not going to be much room for a lot of fun here.
Yeah.
It's going to be all intensity.
So get your tighty whities off because we're going to need all the space we got.
Strap in, boys, because it's going to be a tight one. Yeah, that's them making fun of my vasectomy. All right, there it is. Let's just get it out there.
Okay, guys. Brent had a vasectomy.
Yep.
And it didn't go well.
It's my walking nightmare.
Anyway,
we're here. It's
what
also
can you guys
Hotline
do
120.
in the comments? Use the acronym TTP to talk about his vasectomy, please. What is balls to the walls with the boys?
Balls to the walls with the boys. Thank you, Rylas. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still standing.
You know that's
We got it.
that's the type of attorney that I need in my life. When you have an attorney making jokes like that,
That's it.
He's the freaking best.
That's it. I knew you guys couldn't keep it under wraps.
Dude, it took me 4
Especially
seconds.
I didn't start.
You started.
I did not start.
You sparked it before the show started. I was like, oh, perfect.
Brittany, be very nice to your husband. Okay, just give him a lot of hugs and a lot of support.
So
It's
tell me,
wild.
why do you get a vasectomy?
Well, we're done having children.
Is it just a phase of life?
You know, Erin is an oncology nurse, and so that means she gives chemo to a lot of patients that have cancer, and a lot of older women that have been on birth control for a long time. That's one of the causes. So we had a conversation, and we made sure that it was supposed to be the easier route, but I have to, yeah.
I thought he was going to say that Erin is an oncology nurse, and so she has a lot of conversations with people that are, at like stage 4 cancer.
I think Jesse Taylor crushed it.
And what did she say, or he say? What do we got?
TTP.
Terrible testicular pain.
Oh my God.
Yes. I love this, Jesse.
This is good.
Jesse.
So anyway, yes. So yeah, to prevent
All
any kind of
juice,
potential cancer issues, get a vasectomy.
I thought he was going to say that Erin surveyed a lot of these people with stage 4 cancer, and they all said they wish they didn't have that last kid.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the last one. Yeah.
So Brent was just like, you know what? Snap.
Yep.
Oh,
We're rooting for you,
Thank
bro.
you. Thank you.
Really sorry to hear about your bad time, but
It's
you know what?
it's supposed to go
Let
away.
me ask you this:
Yeah.
What is healing from a vasectomy as hard as getting your first deal?
Listen, it's a lot easier getting your first deal.
Right?
It's a lot easier.
So, guys, the reason I bring that up is
Mhm.
because if you still haven't taken the action to get your first contract, understand that this man is standing here. He's going to be standing for the next 90 minutes in pain to deliver you the value that you need to get out there and take the action required to get your first deal under contract. So let's really squeeze him for the answers today.
That's it. That's it. I'm here to be squeezed. There you go.
This is a really good one, Jamil.
Yeah.
Frosty Woman.
Yes.
Which tool works best for comping in non-disclosure states?
Oh my
Perfect.
gosh. Actually, I'm a big fan
Tell
of
people what a non-disclosure state is, by the way, too.
So let's begin by first Frosty Woman. Love the name. No, I've known a few like you. The key is that a non-disclosure state is where you don't have access to public data. So when you're trying to search how much a property is sold for, when you're running your comparables, you can't actually see what the data is because people aren't required to disclose, right? That's why it's called non-disclosure.
Yep.
So there's a couple of tools that I love to use. Of course, Batch Leads has been my tried and tested and true friend and partner for comping in non-disclosure states. But I'll have to tell you, in Texas especially, Privy is insanely good.
It is very good.
It's so good.
You kept telling me, dude, you got to check out Privy. You got to check out Privy. You got to check out Privy. Talk to the owners.
Yep.
Got the whole thing. Got it set up. The comping is very good in non-disclosure states.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
So guys, check it out, right? There's a link right there. Check it out. It's a really incredible tool. And you know what? It doesn't swell up on you.
There you go. So you can trust it. Here we go. Let's ring that bell.
Let's do it. Let's ring the bell.
We've got a deal. Our first deal, $37K closing coming up in about 20 days. Congratulations, Trevon. Here we go.
I forgot how loud that is. Wow.
That is awesome.
Nathan, Privy is not only for on-market deals. There's so many uses that you can use with Privy. You can comp, non-disclosure. It has an algorithm that helps you find on-market opportunities. Also, it taps into MLSs across the nation. The same thing that PropStream couldn't do, Privy can actually do.
Yep.
Because they're spending the money to tap into those MLS data feeds.
Yep.
You can find cash buyer lists. I mean, God, Privy's got a ton of stuff. So if you haven't given it a full tour, if you haven't done the full inspection, if you haven't put both balls in your hand and looked at it from top to bottom, then you're really not giving Privy its just desserts.
Got to try them all 3 of them. Batch Leads doesn't work in Puerto Rico.
So this is the previous question, Brent.
Yeah.
If you've just recently got up on Privy, where does that leave Batch Leads?
Batch Leads is great.
Batch Leads is dope. Batch Leads is where we organize everything. So that's where we stack everything. That's where we skip trace through. That's how we know. When we skip trace so much and we make so many calls that it's really important from a budget standpoint to not skip trace the same addresses over and over and over. So that's why we keep it in Batch Leads. And they just keep us organized and they don't charge you for the same one. So we'll input lists from there. But if I'm comping pace for students around the country, non-disclosure states, then I use Privy.
I got a joke. I got a joke in the pipeline, but I'm not gonna lay it out for you.
Okay. It's gonna happen. I hope we make it through tonight too.
I hope we make it through tonight. Hey, and Joel, we love being in the studio together. Honestly, there's nothing like the energy of the 3 of us in the same room. It feels different when we get to do this, and I'm grateful to have my 2 brothers in my life. Happy Memorial Day to you both. You're incredible.
And everybody.
And everyone out there.
Thank you for joining us. That is awesome.
Guys, get your questions in the chat. This is an open Q&A today. We want
to... Look at Kagan.
Where's Kagan's question?
One more. There it is.
I am an Astral Flipping student. My first deal was $23K total. I would have made $17K and the other wholesaler would have made $6K, but I split it with him 50-50.
Wow, that's cool.
That is good form, okay? What you did is you earned a relationship for life there. So well done. I teach you guys that. I teach you not to be greedy. I teach you to make sure that you're compensating people for what they bring to the table. If you see somebody brought value that they're not being compensated for and you are, and it's being, it's tipped in your favor, do the thing that compensates there, that balances that out, and you'll see it's going to find its way back to you tenfold. Congratulations.
Let's ring that bell for him. That's a Jamil. Wait for it to drop, bro.
I was like, why is it so high? God,
man, you gotta practice that.
Yeah, it's like, let's make him jump, the little man. Let's make a little man jump.
Can you go back to the PR question about Puerto Rico? Is there a tool we can use for getting Puerto Rico data?
I have never pulled data in Puerto Rico.
Is Zillow in Puerto Rico?
I mean, it should be.
Hold on.
Let's look that up.
You want to call Jerry Norton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's call Jerry Norton.
Guys, we're gonna call the mayor of Puerto Rico, Mr. Jerry Norton himself.
He's definitely the lizard exterminator of Puerto Rico. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yep. I see listings on Zillow. You do? Okay, so there is. So you've got Zillow. You've got, drive
like
around.
Midnight there. Let's see if he answers. He's working on child number 11 right now. Even after his vasectomy, I'm sure he can still make it happen. He's
still shooting.
It's like why is Pace calling me right now?
You can't stop that guy.
Yeah, so I guess you can if Zillow populates data from Puerto Rico, you can absolutely use Zillow. And if you don't know how to comp using Zillow, I made a video called "How to Comp Like a Pro." It's still very relevant.
Yeah.
You can find it on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to it, my YouTube channel will be in the chat.
Rosa,
Go
the
check
most
it out.
important things that I would look for is I would build your cash buyer database first there. Go have those conversations, see if there's some RIA groups, see if there's meetup groups, see if there's, Facebook groups that you can go and post in and connect with people and see what they're buying and then cater your efforts to what they're buying. Because there might be pockets in there that they don't want to buy in. There might be pockets that are owned by the government, but you know what I mean. I don't know how things go there. Maybe there's land leases, maybe there's not. Maybe it's fee simple ownership. Who knows? So I would have a conversation with somebody that knows what they're doing out in Puerto Rico. Somebody that has, has done deals, has connections to the title companies or closing attorneys, and then start building from there.
Evan says, I'm about a month into driving for dollars, cold calling and texting.
Yep.
I still have a full-time job. Wondering how you know you are doing the right thing in the beginning when you aren't seeing results. So, Evan, I can already tell you the number one thing you are not doing is you are not squatting up with other people. So back in October of last year, we did a 26-day driving for deals challenge where we helped over 500 people get their first deal in 26 days. Can you freaking believe that?
That's incredible.
How did we do that? Here's what we did. We gathered 500 sub-2 students, and we did the live together with about 4,000 or 5,000 people. And the sub-2 students all marked a couple of different people that were non-students, and they said, we're going to help you get your first deal. Go drive for deals, go find distress houses, and we will help you call those sellers. So, Evan, the biggest thing you're missing right now is somebody that's going to help you call those sellers and navigate those conversations. You're trying to do this on your own. If you come back to me and say, no, I am squatting up, I will fight you in the back of an alley because I know you are not. There's no way you are 30 days into this and you are saying, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, because you should have somebody of authority, somebody with some momentum, somebody with some experience in your backyard, somebody geographically local to you that will drive for deals with you or let you set appointments for them to either talk to or go to physical appointments with.
And Evan, you are seeing results. It's just you got to stack the small wins, brother.
That's a really great point.
The win is not just that you get a deal or you lock it up and we ring the victory bell and that's all good. Obviously, we want that. But listen, you're taking action in the first 30 days. Do you know how brave that is to just like all of a sudden start this, especially if you don't have like a family member or like a best friend or somebody that's like really close, that's amazing at the and has a robust business. You're just going out there and you're watching as much as you can and you're actually taking action. You're in the 1%. I'm telling you, maybe in this group, like the 99%, because I think most people that have stuck around and watch our show every week are out there taking action based on how much celebrating we get to do. But like for real, you are out there and you're driving for dollars. You're calling strangers. Like nobody does that. You're like so far ahead that you should be really, really, really proud of the progress that you've made. Just keep it going. Just stack the small wins.
You know, it's interesting to look in the comments and see how many people did deals with other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the whole like theme of the show is squat up. So last night on Sunday service, we had Jasper's son is his name right here. Evan says, by the way, confirms what I thought. I would love to squat up. That's exactly what I need. Guys,
Sure.
That's what I need every day. I need to hang out with my friends. I need to be excited about work. I need to be around people that have more authority or more experience than I do in the given thing that I'm trying to learn. Jasper's son comes into Sunday service last night. He goes, Pace, I've got this foreclosure situation, goes and tells the story. And I go, so when you asked my student how they would have handled this, what did they answer? And he goes, I didn't do that.
Right.
I go, you're talking about a creative strategy here, and you don't have one of my students you're working with? And he goes, I guess I don't know where to find them. And I go, dude, there's 600 people in the comments that are like 572 of them are sub-2 students.
Yeah.
So Evan, you're saying you don't know, you don't have somebody to squat up with. Please, everybody in the comments, act as if you're in Evan's shoes. What would you want? You want people reaching out and say, hey, Evan, reach out to me. Here's my phone number. What area are you in? I can help you. I can guide you. Let's do a deal together. This guy's been consistently taking action for 30 days. He's somebody that's going to do a deal with somebody in the comment section. So please help him out, guys.
You know, I was watching a video today on Lee Arnold. We met him at the Family Mastermind. He's out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And he has a rule of 56 where it's 25 letters, 25 calls, 25 letters, 25 calls, 4 networking events, and 2 of something else. It was like 56 touches in a week, right? And I was thinking, how do people go to 4 networking events a week?
There's so many.
It's right here.
Yeah, so many.
This is 2022. This is the new networking event.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, take advantage of this. Let everybody know where you're at.
If you showed up to Wholesale Hotline, Wednesdays with Brent, Sunday service,
ugly houses, big deals.
Compton. If you showed up and whatever other live stream is going on in the week, you would connect with thousands of people. Thousands of people. And how many of us in the chat, just say it, how many of you guys are new? How many of you are newer viewers here to Wholesale Hotline? Because I want people to understand just the consistent roll around, and how many people, how many fresh people we can come in and serve. How many people are here to be helped? And how many people here can help you? If you're new, let us know you're new. If you've been around a while, let us know you've been around a while. That way you can connect. Guys, please say something in the chat.
There you go.
So Andre and Jessica Forbes. I'm finding deals off Privy in the DFW market. This kind of leads me into Jamil's upcoming challenge that we'll jump into next.
Nice.
Can anyone help with figuring out the next steps after calling the agent? Carolyn and Myron are here in the side chat. So I have an avatar system in my mentorship now. There's 20 avatars. I know it's crazy. Yep. I'm crazy. I know I'm stupid. I know I'm stupid. I know I'm crazy. But one of those avatars is people, I call it a helper. They literally, their only job is helping people like that are taking action and go, what's your problem? How can I help you solve it? And let's JV on the deal. Okay.
Yep.
So Andre and Jessica, find Carolyn and Myron in the side chat. They are usually in Wholesale Hotline. Naomi, this is a really good story right here, joins my sub 2 mentorship and gets one of our students to help her get her first 2 deals.
Awesome.
We have a rule in sub 2. Step 1, before even watching the training, is make 25 friends in sub 2, 5 leaders, 20 other newer students like yourself. The next step is to name 2 other people on your vision board that you want to help them get a deal, because so many times other people are thinking, me. I want my first deal. It is a requirement for you to have 2 other students' names on your vision board to help them get a deal in your next 12 months, or at least put it out into the universe that they need to get their deal as well. So Naomi is a really good depiction of this, is that she joined the mentorship and Ty came and latched on her. On day 1, she had her deal, I think, within 3 days. She had another deal within like 10 days. And that's what squatting up is all about, guys.
That's it.
Guys, if you're trying to figure out the next step after you get a deal under contract, regardless if it's a Privy deal, if it's an agent deal, if it's an on-market deal, there is a order of operations of the things you're going to need to do. All of that, we're going to go over in the Secret Agent Challenge, which is beginning just around the corner. The link for that is going to be in the chat. If you haven't signed up, sign up, because we are going to stop registration here really soon.
What are you guys going after? Are you talking to agents?
Agents.
Real estate agents?
Real estate agents. The whole challenge.
Like people that you've talked to before, or somebody you've never talked to before?
All new.
In what market?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I've got star students, each working in different markets. Yep. So it's going to be a completely different voice every day.
Yeah.
Different perspective.
How many days?
We'll be going 5 days.
5 straight days? 5
straight days.
How long is it?
Couple hours each time.
So people should budget time in their week for this?
Heck yeah, man. Budget time, or be available after the hours, because we will email replays out. But make sure you register, because if you don't register, you're not getting a replay.
Yeah.
So the Secret Agent Challenge, what time of day are you going to do it this time?
Right now, we are going to be doing it in the morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time.
I like that, because other challenges I've done are in the evening, and it's really hard to run a business in the evening when all the agents have quit working at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
It's the truth.
Yep. So it's first thing in the morning. It'll be a great time. Make sure you guys sign up.
This is interesting, because for so long, the industry did not have people doing challenges like this, where they're literally calling and doing the work. That's what you guys are going to be doing, right? It's not just education. You're going to have your leaders reaching out to agents and working out deals.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Convince me.
How?
Just tell me you're going to do it.
We're doing it
On what date?
every day.
No, but starting when?
Monday.
This coming Monday?
It's what's our start date, Bobby?
June 6th.
June 6th.
There it is.
Okay, so that's a week from today.
A week from today.
Okay, so guys, get in there, register for it. Dan Quijano, who runs my nightly dial,
He's gonna crush it.
he's been running competitions for the last 2 weeks, getting somebody to win that challenge.
Who's winning it?
He's putting himself in it 100%
Yeah.
plus one other person. Okay.
So hey, Bobby, we need to get Dan Quijano settled in to the lineup. Okay.
Ooh, Bobby. Does anybody know what Bobby looks like? Bobby, are you currently single right now?
He is single.
Can you show Bobby? Do you guys have a camera on him?
We'll get it.
Quijano, Q-U-I-J-A-N-O. I will text you his contact information right now, Bobster the Lobster.
John House has asked in this question a couple times. Any advice on growing a wholesale business? I love this, right? Okay. So first of all, if we could put it on there, Pace or Matt, will you guys get it?
I couldn't find the mouse. It's lost. Matt has control of the mouse.
Matt, go up. So he asked, how do you grow? Keep going. How do you grow? There he is. Right? Any advice on growing a wholesale business? Well, John, it depends on where you're at, right? It depends
100%.
on how much. First of all, I love that you said growing a wholesale business, because the whole point of this show is not just to, hey, go out and do a deal. We don't want you to just do one deal. We want you to go and change your life, like financially. And to do that, you have to build a business. Now, whatever business you want to build is up to you, right? But I highly suggest your first 12 months, you focus on just finding ugly houses and getting big checks. All right. Now, Pace is gonna show you 70,000 different ways to do a deal with
Jerry
Jerry
Norton just called.
Oh,
dang
man.
it. Let's call the Lizard King real fast, because I want to hear you go off on this, because this is a long answer.
Yep.
Hey, sir.
Hey, brother, you got Brent Daniels and Jamil standing right next to me.
What's
Three of
up?
my favorite people.
How you doing?
Good.
Are you out on your golf cart looking for lizards?
No, we're in Montana now.
Oh my gosh, you're up in Kalispell on my lake.
Yep. I'm standing like 10 feet from the water.
Amazing. Hey, we are on Wholesale Hotline. Everybody on this show absolutely loves Jerry Norton. That we had a question for you.
Let's hear it.
We get a lot of people to ask this question about Puerto Rico data. Where is the best place to pull data from Puerto Rico? Apparently, it's really hard to get comps in Puerto Rico.
Yes. So they don't. That's the answer.
Really?
So the way Puerto Rico works is there's no MLS. They have like a Craigslist version of they call it Clasificados Online. So you can download the app. It's all in Spanish. It's very Craigslist, like 1990. They have a couple other websites. There's actually a big group that's working on an MLS type of thing. The problem is there's no real buyer's agent. So what that means is every buyer's agent has to negotiate their commission before showing the property. So then it's not really a thing. They don't really want to do that because that's a ton of work. So then listing agents are very territorial. So they only really show you their listings. They don't really collaborate or work together. And then the other problem is a lot of real estate is pocket listings off market.
Interesting, man. It's like the wild west out there.
It's the wild. So it's good. Here's the good news is if you're there, you can really learn a market, but it's very scroungy. Like it's roll up your sleeves. It's talk to people. But it's nearly impossible, if not impossible, to virtually do deals in Puerto Rico.
Are you saying that talking to people actually works?
Yeah. It's like I call it TTP.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Have you heard of it?
Jerry, while we're on the subject of TTP, how long does it take to heal from a vasectomy?
From a vasectomy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm an expert on that.
Are you sure you had a child? You had a child after your vasectomy. Are you sure you're an expert?
Now I'm an expert from experience. From what not to do.
He'll heal for 18 years.
Just playing with you, bro.
Brent just had a vasectomy and it got he's very much in pain right now.
How long ago, Brent?
10 days ago.
Oh, okay. You're okay still. So there's a thing called post vasectomy. What's it called?
Trauma.
Pain syndrome. Post vasectomy pain syndrome. Yeah, post vasectomy pain syndrome.
Yep.
Or sore nut syndrome.
Yep.
I thought it was called third nut syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's a thing, and it happens to like 30% of men. And yeah, it's bad. So I hope you don't. I had that. So for 6 months, I was in agony. I had to wear a jock strap 2 sizes too small.
Are you serious? Are you still wearing it right now?
No.
Jerry's not helping. You're not helping, Jerry.
Yeah, for fun, but not because I need to.
Jerry, we love you, dude. Jerry, we got to get you back on the show sometime soon, brother. We'll text you.
Anytime.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
I got to adjust some summer
See ya.
trips.
Oh my gosh.
That's so good, dude.
That's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry.
He wore a jock strap 2 sizes too small.
Yep. For support.
You want to go shopping after?
Anyway, here we go. So, any advice on growing a wholesale business? Let's get back to the
back to the subject.
Let's edit that out of the podcast. By the way, if you're not listening to the podcast, make sure you check out the podcast everywhere: iTunes, Spotify, Wholesale Hotline. It is going bananas. But growing a wholesale business, I'm real interested. When you started out, you were the one lead generating, right?
Yes.
Did you hire Dispo first, or did you hire more lead generation first?
So, funny, I brought Dispo in a JV first before I started anything, right? So the thing that I want to say is the key to growing a successful wholesale business is starting with the end in mind. Okay? Literally map out what this thing looks like before you go.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
So for me, before I started Keegley, I had a number in mind. I knew how big of a company I wanted to grow. I knew exactly that my process of wanting to build it, grow it, sell it.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so because I had all that walking in, I knew what infrastructure and what pieces I was going to need in order to create that institution.
Right.
If you are trying to build a big wholesale business, which I look, I don't recommend it because it's a lot.
You'd have to be nuts to do that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. But if you're trying to just build a very profitable, lean wholesale business, then get real granular about what that looks like, right? Real granular, like that big, like real granular, like
the size of a nut,
like a size of a nut, get
some nuts are bigger than others,
and really understand like how many people do I have here? What kind of revenue am I generating? How many deals am I doing? How many markets am I in? Once you figure that out, you start working backwards. You're going to know what's my talent. Okay, you take an inventory of all the talents you have. Then you say, what are my deficiencies? And you take an inventory of all the deficiencies you have. Then you start saying, what deficiencies do I need to hire out now? And what deficiencies could I bring in as JVs or as loose partnerships? And that's how I brought dispositions into my business.
Right.
And once I brought dispositions into my business, we realized, okay, here, this now becomes a whole. Let's create the infrastructure around it to grow the business.
Got it.
Okay, so about this, I think this is a great topic to maybe give some breath to. Are any one of our businesses identically the same?
No.
Nope.
Positions, where we get our leads from,
Nope.
disposition process, any of that?
Nope.
So this is a really good point. When I came into the business, the people that I saw that I thought that I had to emulate was actually Carlos and Sal. Okay, and I love Carlos and Sal.
Yeah.
And I love those guys. But at one point, they had like 50 people on their team.
I know.
And I thought that was the way. I was like, well, I guess that's what I got to do. I got to follow the leader, right? I got to follow the leader. And then, you meet other people in the industry and you go, oh my gosh, like there's not one person in any mastermind I'm in wholesale that has anything identical to each other. Everybody has a unique business. So what Jamil is talking about is take an inventory of your skill set. So specifically for me, what did I need? I just needed leads to get in front of sellers.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I not want to do was disposition. I never wanted to do disposition because it's not where my talents lie. My talents lie in negotiating with sellers and being in homes, being on the phone, talking to people.
Yep.
Okay. It's why the first mentorship I ever joined was TTP. Okay. The gold standard. Okay. And so I then outsourced to you.
Yep.
And in fact, I still do. You and I are doing a deal together. We close on Monroe tomorrow. Just
amazing,
FYI.
amazing.
So I outsourced that, which allowed me to scale my wholesaling business. Why?
Focus.
Yes.
Focus on what? What did
What
I
you're
focus
good
on?
at.
Lead generation.
On the thing he's good at.
That's right.
And that's not even lead gen. For him, it was conversion.
Well, you had to get the lead gen to convert.
Well, you know how I did that? I partnered with Cody Barton.
Mm-hmm.
So Cody Barton dealt with the lead generation. And I was like, I don't have to deal with the lead gen or the dispo. Just get me in an appointment. I'll lock up deals all day long. Boom, 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 boom.
That's right.
And that's how we scaled the business. Instead of me trying to rack my head. Now, Brent doesn't have partnerships, but he has people in those positions that he's outsourced to.
Right.
Okay. So find things. Again, Jamil couldn't have said this any better. Take an inventory of all your personality traits,
your skills, all the goods and all the bads.
Should we be doing things we hate doing though?
Never. You won't do what you don't like to do. I was on a call today with an Astral call, and one of our students was telling me, she's an intelligent woman. She might even be on watching today. She said, Jamil, I just hate talking to people. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really smart. I can figure everything out. I'm really good once I can master things. Like I know how to do stuff. But one thing I dislike doing is actually just talking to people, making connections with people. I'm not that kind of person. Much like my business partner, Hunter.
Yep.
If I call Hunter right now, you know what happens?
Clear your call.
Well, no, he hits decline and then he texts me and says, "What's up?"
Yeah.
I've been in business with him since 2016.
I know.
He won't answer my calls.
Yeah.
But he will immediately text me back and say, "What's up?" Why? Because he doesn't want to talk on the phone.
Right.
Right. So will Hunter ever become a great person on the phone? Hell no. Hell no. So why would I ever want him to do it? Why would we ever force somebody to do something that they dislike? I love doing the thing that I love doing. And I can do it so much that if that was my only job, I'd be excellent at it. So that's why I think, Pace, taking that inventory of all of your skills and the things that you love and then doing more and more and more and more of that, and then taking inventory of the things that you hate and finding people to squat up with to do the things that you hate or the things that don't click for you. Like, I can't look at things spatially, right? So if you showed me plans, I'd be like, duh. I wouldn't work.
Right. I can attest to this. I do not let him drive when we go around the country because this guy literally, he'll drive on a one-way street the wrong way if you let him drive.
It's not that bad, but it is kind of.
It's that bad,
guys, he's been in Phoenix since 2012.
I still use a GPS to get home.
He uses a GPS to get home
from here.
From here.
Yeah. He's been here every Monday for 2 years. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's interesting. I never
real interesting about Hunter though. Hunter did talk to a lot of people
on text.
Right.
Only through text.
But that's different. When he was young and he was hungry, nobody got more DMs. Nobody put more DMs out than Hunter. That's 100%. What grabbed you.
Yeah.
So he was proactive. Because I think that there's a fine line here that says if you don't have a budget and you have no experience, what are you going to do? You have to talk to people somehow.
Yes.
Now, it depends on how you're going to do it. If you want to do it through text and DMs and all that, that's fine. Right. But I don't think until you came into his life that his life changed forever.
It did. And mine changed forever by him coming into mine. Right. Because he brought organization to me that didn't exist.
Right.
Right. And so
he was hungry.
He was
hungry at like 17 years old.
Yes.
And he looked 12.
Yes. I mean, he still looks
he does
really young.
12, yeah.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it, right? Like hunger doesn't end. Like you have that. And any one of you that are watching today's show and you're looking at your life situation right now and you're saying, I'm so much better than this, or I can do so much more than this, or I deserve more income, I deserve more freedom, I deserve more stability, then this is for you. Okay, this is for you. What you need to do is find somebody to fill the deficiency. You have a deficiency, otherwise you'd have a business.
Yeah, this is a really good topic, right? So Stephanie says, really? We shouldn't be doing the things we don't want to do? I feel like that's the very base of discipline, especially when you're in the hustle season. Now,
so this is a great point. This is your TTP family here. Stephanie goes out there and she takes mad action. She takes videos. Sometimes she cries. after a day of
Hell.
going through it, right?
Yep.
Or just building. I think there's something to be said. If you want to be something,
the question
that
is
you're not,
different though.
right?
The question was, how do I scale a wholesaling business?
Right. How do you build a wholesaling business?
Right. So it wasn't, how do I go do my first wholesale deal?
Right.
Right. That's a different question.
But I think you have to do enough deals to be able to build a business.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
you
agree.
need to replace your income if you get an outside income, and then you have to get consistency. So you have to have systems in place for lead generation, conversion, and disposition. And then from there, when you can afford the right to have options to bring other people on, I think that's when you start doing it. What you're saying is partner up first.
You can feel, because here's what happens, and I see it, and I see people quitting because of this all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Is that there's something that they can't do. For instance, my one student, right? She's just she's crippled with anxiety to have those conversations, but she's so organized. Mm-hmm. And there's a group of Astro students that could use her organizational skills. Mm-hmm. And so what she could do is she could help organize the tail end of what they're producing and create opportunities for her being a part of their business.
Yep.
So you don't have to be the person on the front line. You can be the person that's adding infrastructure, that's adding systemization, that's adding organization. You can bring skills to the table that allow people that might not be working with a full rounded skill set to still succeed and prosper.
So
are you an employee at that point, or are you a partner?
No, you work. I know how you feel about partnerships, and I'm not telling people to go out and start forming partnerships. What I'm saying is you can squat up and work with people. You can work with people. You can learn opposing skill sets. You can learn things about yourself by watching other people do it. Really, if there's something that you don't like doing, guess what will happen? 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days in, you'll stop. You'll stop. And that's what makes people quit.
I don't know what option you have if you're starting out and you don't have experience, money, or a squad.
That's a squad.
So you get the squad. So what do you bring to the squad if you don't have money or experience or proactive?
For example,
whatever your skill is.
You don't have a skill yet. You just started yesterday, right? Let's say you started an hour ago.
Yeah.
Right. This is where this is a very great conversation. We could seriously talk about this for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And it's different for every human being. That's where it gets challenging, right? So where those avatars that I've come up with, I'm I've created 20 avatars that will get your hands on a transaction. One of those avatars is a transaction coordinator.
Right.
In fact, my wife was a transaction coordinator for Kyle Weiloge and other Danny Perkinson.
Yep.
And guess who saw the deals before they got dispoed? My wife.
Yep.
So she would text me and go, hey, we got another deal. Do you want to look at it? Hey, we got a deal. You want to look at it? So a transaction coordinator is not just a transaction coordinator. A transaction coordinator who's doing all the paperwork in the organization, which is what you're talking about, actually gets to see the deals before they ever get dispo.
Right.
That's a gangster strategy to get your hands on deal flow.
Correct.
Right. So how do you learn how to be a transaction coordinator? Well, for us, I added 2 hours every Saturday in my mentorship. Our transaction coordination team teaches 2 hours of transaction coordination to people's wives, because they always say, how do I get my wife involved in the business? She doesn't want to do anything but I go, have her be a transaction coordinator. When they understand that, they go, their wives go, oh my gosh, that was the missing link. I need that in my life. Why didn't I know that existed? And it's because most people think they have to go out and just knock doors, right? However, Matt Beard, this is what Matt Beard does. Shout out Matt Beard. Homeboy goes to a cash appointment and buys a house with a subject to contract, goes to a sub to appointment and buys a deal with a cash contract. He is atrocious with paperwork.
Right.
But he is the absolute best person on this planet to go and knock doors.
Right.
So I would suggest get your hands on any part of the transaction, however you possibly can, by squatting up with other people. Knowing who you are is a really challenging thing. This is why having a mentor that can kind of help you guide and go, you know what? You should be calling and fighting through it. I was deathly afraid to go on my first appointment. It's not like I woke up in the morning and go, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything I'm afraid of. I just know that I was afraid of the lack of experience, not of actually doing the task itself. Mm-hmm. I was afraid of not knowing the answer. That's what I was afraid of. So if you're not afraid of talking to people in general, then by all means, that fear, that anxiety you have is just you missing the repetition of just going out and doing it.
I think that's important to clarify here, guys. We're not telling you don't do things that are hard. Okay. I wake up every day and I do the thing. I work out. I do the things that are necessary for me because they're necessary.
Yeah.
They're hard to do. I'm not saying don't do the hard thing. I'm saying make sure that you're very self-aware of the things that you'll actually do, and do the things you can actually do, and the things that you won't do, or the things that you can't do. Squat up and have other people help you out to get it done.
Brent, I want to hear what you have any rebuttal or like cherry to put on top of that?
Neither of you guys grew your business that way. You guys grew your business from doing the hard stuff, from
I
into a market
agreed.
that you knew nothing about,
Agreed.
and going gangster for like 5 straight years. You too, really.
Yeah, I did.
3-ish, right? To really get it going and really on the phones all day long. You guys are still on the phones all day long. There's still things that you guys don't want to do that you guys do.
But in that 5 years, I never once opened Podio. I never once, did my follow-ups the way. I never organized myself. I didn't have any sequencing. I didn't have, you know what I mean? So I was missing so much of the business that actually allowed me to scale because I was being the way I am.
Well, listen, if you can find partners that fit what you lack, and you have a big vision for growing a big business, then it works. I don't think partners in one market and sharing all the leads and splitting it 50-50 is a long-term plan. I did it with Dustin Monger, and then at 2017 we split off. He now has a $2 million business. I have a $2 million business, and it's great. You know what I mean?
I think you are so accurate on that. I think that there's a lot of people I see that do JV instead of partnerships. They do 6-month JV agreements. They go, our goal in the next 6 months is both of us split off and do our own thing. Right. But we're going to share resources for the time being. We're going to keep each other accountable. Those are smart things, because if 2 red-blooded Americans like you and I actually paired up, we at some point are going to go, hey, well, I want to go this way. And you're going to say, I want to go that way. Dustin Monger doesn't even work in the Valley. The dude is like ultra niche. He's like, what is he? He's in like
up north, right?
Sedona, Prescott Flag.
Really? I thought he was like even in the outskirts of those areas.
It could be. Yeah, but he just crushes.
So it's like you guys had competing visions, and that ultimately happens as you scale. So partnerships do separate. So guys, if you are thinking about partnering with people, just JV. It's the smarter way to go.
Unless you have that big vision. You have the big vision of building $100 million, $200 million, $300 million Keegley franchise. Like that was the end in mind. You're not going to do that yourself. You know what I mean? Not when you're out slaying deals and getting deals all the time and becoming the biggest wholesaler in town. I think the biggest in the country. There's a couple others that are there, but I don't count them.
Here's what I like about you, Jamil, is you said, think about the end in mind and then reverse engineer. Okay. It took me multiple years to figure out what I really wanted, because I looked at somebody else and I thought that's what the idea of success is. Right. Carlos and Sal. Again, it's a good business model for them, having a big old team. I'm more like Brent Daniels.
Well, you went hard wholesale, and then you got into assisted living. You got into all the creative, all the sub 2s, and then just started building. Now you have a team that does it all.
Right.
I mean, you're like the Swiss Army knife.
I had to navigate and figure out, what did I want my team to look like? What did I want my day to look like? Did I want to be involved in my wholesale business? Did I want to be going on appointments for a long time? And I thought for like 2 years, there was pride and there was honoring going in appointments and going, well, I'm going to go on the appointment. I said this stuff out loud. And then I go, that's a limiting belief. I went from having 6 employees to now having 725 employees because I got rid of that limiting belief. Because I was looking at somebody else's formula for success. If I could have started all over, I would have followed your model a lot closer. Keeping a small, nimble team trying to generate between $130,000 to $200,000 a month in wholesale revenues, right? And stay there. And perfect that.
I take $60K out every month
for yourself.
I haven't been on a seller appointment in 2 years. I don't know where they're at. I haven't stepped foot in them. I go when we do like videos for YouTube. You know what I mean? $60K a month passive income from this business, and I think we're just getting started. We're just
are you trying to grow? Are you trying to grow it, or are you trying to branch out and do other businesses as well?
No, I want to keep the business tight, and I want to add a relationship manager. I want to add somebody that's going to go out and build the referral database, because I think if you want a long-term real estate business that is market proof, it has to be built off of referrals. It just has to. Am I right?
Yep.
I mean, it just has to. I mean, that's how you keep the profits high, your team lean, and everybody moving in the same direction.
Okay, so this is what I like about what you just said. And Jamil is very similar to this as well. So am I. But there was a sense of honor that I hear people talk about. Like, I had a $300,000 month and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, but you did that with you and one other person. And the second you go take a week off, your entire business implodes. And it takes you 3 months to rebuild that back up. I would rather take $30,000 a month home passive than I would have $100,000 one month and then have to wait 3 more months. Are you counting up all your deals you did?
Yeah, I'm just showing him this. Like, even now, I haven't. What have I done? But this month we've got 66 deals at $18,316 per deal.
Insane.
Can we get a
what's the
somebody add
calculation
that
on
up in the comments, please?
I can't.
66 times 18,000. It's incredible.
This is
it's incredible.
Yeah, but how many years ago was it you texting everybody?
1. So today.
Let's say 1.2.
So as of what's the date today? The 30th. So tomorrow will be our last. Tomorrow will be our last day. We'll do 1.2 million.
Right.
In assignment fees for the month.
From what?
From where we started?
No. From how did you get those deals?
Referrals.
Every one of them is a referral. Not a dime spent in marketing on that.
So, Brent, this is where you're going, where you're saying, I want to add a relationship manager and go out and build JV relationships with wholesalers and agents and probate attorneys, et cetera. Build my referral database so that it amplifies my business and I have long-term relationships in the market.
When you start out in this business, it is all hustle. It is all either you're spending money on getting people to call you or you're going out there and you're calling them. You stepped into this market and you go to all the agents out there. Hey, I want your ugliest houses. I want your investment. I'll make it as smooth as possible. But all I ask is that you don't tell anybody my name because I only want to work with the best of the best and you're the best of the best. And that's the same conversation you had with probably 2,000 agents?
More.
4,000 agents, right?
Yep.
While I'm at the exact same moment in time, I'm talking to 45,000 direct to seller type of things, right? And my business is doing 2 million. Your business is doing 1.2 a month. Right now, you have more operating costs and you have more overhead and you have some other things and you have partnerships in there. So it depends on how you want to run your business. But you have to get to the point where you're getting business coming in from referrals. And you have to, because you're going to be constantly having to go after the direct to seller all the time, which I think is a really, really strong and powerful way to get bigger deals. To be honest, like our deals are 51,000, so we don't do a tremendous amount of deals, but they're big when they come in, and then mix it in with referrals. And I think that you've got a perfect business.
The number one reason why. Okay, and I'm excluding Jamil because he's the outlier here. The number one reason why I love direct to seller is because of the control and the reliability that I can scale a business instead of me, because we do a lot of we have a lot of relationship with wholesalers. Jamil, honest answer, besides me and maybe 15 other wholesalers, how long do wholesalers stick around before they go, I'm just going to go do my own dispo? Is it probably 5 to 10 deals that they do with you and then they go do their own dispo?
Depends.
Agents stay longer.
I've got some
because agents aren't interested in dispo, right?
Some wholesalers stay. Some have just been with us for years.
Right.
I'd say the majority, though, will probably do about 5 deals, and then they'll figure out some buyer relationships, and they'll come to us when they need us.
Yeah.
They'll try on their own first.
Right.
And I think we encourage people to start trying to do their own dispo after the second deal.
Right.
But if they haven't got there yet, they're still building up, they'll stick with us for 5.
So for me, what I loved about direct to seller as my main business model is that I can rely on it, the KPIs, right? Like I know if I put this many dollars in, I'm going to get this many deals out. And this is how many people I need to handle those deals, right? And I can scale that. What I found with my JV model is that it's a constant recurring, or like a business model I have to stay on top of wholesalers and I can't rely on. Agents, on the other hand, are not so bad. Best, probate attorneys. Probate attorneys, they'll have you for 5 years.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
it should be all of it.
It should be all
It could
of
be
It
everybody.
should be all of it.
It
If
could
you
be
have
the
a
guy that
relationship manager,
does your dry cleaning. It could be the person that you go and chops meat at the grocery store. If they know anybody is looking for help selling an ugly house, they should know that you're the person doing that. That's why I wear the same damn shirt every day. You know what I mean? Everybody knows what it means.
I thought it
around
was
my
a tattoo.
town. And yeah, it's a full body tattoo. But I mean, like honestly, it's a magnet. It really is. I mean, people know what we do, and you start building up referrals, and those are free deals.
That's
So
it.
a third of our business is referrals, and we haven't even really pushed it. So
I have 15 deals closing in the next 2 weeks.
yeah,
100% of those 15 deals minus one. So
Yeah.
I guess 95% of them
Right.
have come from referrals
Right.
and relationships.
right.
Now I've got a lot of deals in the pipeline that are direct to seller, but it just so I look at the board in the next 2 weeks of deals that are closing. I'm
Yeah.
like, holy crap, where's all the direct to seller? It's like, oh, they're closing in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever. I'm like, I have 14 deals closing between this week
Let me
and
ask you
next
this.
week.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. How many wholesalers do you think in the country?
God.
100,000?
200,000.
You
I
think?
mean, did you see Jerry Norton in your YouTube channel? You got a lot of people following you. You mother effers.
200,000?
I would say so.
I think that's heavy. All right. Well, there's 2 million agents, probably 3 million.
Is it as heavy as a sack with 3 balls in
No,
it?
nothing's heavier than that, bro. Nothing. I'm constantly exercising.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
No,
19 million real estate investors, okay, in the country. 19 million.
wow.
Over 2 to 3 million real estate agents.
That's you're basically
And
talking
there's
about landlords, the 19 million
yes.
people that own real estate
Yes.
as a source of income.
fixer flipper or rentals. Yep.
19 million.
Right. So, and there's 200,000 wholesalers, right?
There's got to be more. If you're
I
no,
don't think there is.
I think there's 200,000 to 300,000 people interested in wholesale, and I think that
that's a
you
real.
know,
You think
that's
there's
a
1,000
good-
people in every? You're saying that would be 4,000
You
per
know,
people.
I'll
in
tell here.
all these markets.
Here's the truth. Okay, Jamil's right. I think that there's a lot of people interested. I mean, look at you, Chris Crone, Max Maxwell, Jerry Norton. Look at your YouTube channels. You
Yep.
mother effers have 1 million subscribers or
I
more,
wish.
right? Well, combined.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Ryan Pineda, all these people. You got a lot of subscribers. You have a lot of people interested in the business model, but that doesn't mean they're taking action. So
Right.
I would say you probably have a good 1,000 people on average per state that are
Yeah.
actively.
So that's 50,000.
50,000
There you go.
repurpose. You just nailed it. He said there's actually about 50,000 real.
I am telling you, there
action-taking
is no
wholesalers.
competition.
I agree.
No.
I am telling you, it's not even close to being a real estate agent.
Bro, I drive
It's
around
not
the
even
streets and I'm
close to
like, why are these houses vacant in the hottest real estate market on the planet?
Right.
It's everywhere. I mean,
Everywhere.
take 7 minutes. Take your girl out on a date to go to Dairy Queen. Okay, go get a Butterfinger Blizzard.
Oh, my favorite.
Is it really?
Double Butterfinger. Always get extra
How
stuff.
have I not?
Always get extra stuff.
Wow. I mean,
What's your favorite Blizzard?
triple nuts. Sorry, guys.
There you
Sorry. Okay, so
Well, I always have a peanut butter parfait.
Yeah.
is that really what
Extra
you got?
busted.
Extra busted.
Yeah.
So I take your girl out on a date, go to Dairy Queen, drive around for 12 minutes and count just ugly ass houses
Yep.
and then tell me that it's an oversaturated business. It's
It's-
not even closely.
no way.
It's not even close.
I honestly, guys, in my soul, I know that this is the most incredible, life-changing business of all time. Of all time. Like, what do you, how do you,
I
look
don't- I
at
have
all
no
the
idea what I would
impact.
do. I
Look
have
at all
no
the
idea.
impact that you can have on your community by turning around. Nobody's talking to that ugly house. Nobody's talking to that vacant house. Nobody's talking to that one that keeps getting broken into, and that's the blight of the neighborhood or the community or whatever else. You know, nobody's going out there and finding ways to solve that. Right. To really make something special and turn around a neighborhood. We're out there doing that. Not only that, but then we get to match up with the people that have the most money in our markets. You know what I mean? Like all the people that you know, dispoing to all of them and the incredible relationships that you've had. I mean, that's like just different levels of success, different levels of financial literacy, different levels of just conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just because we go and find ugly houses and we turn them over to people that want to do something with them.
Right.
It's just the most incredible business of all time.
I have no clue what I would do without real estate.
Right.
I have no clue. I've been spoiled. It's like what everybody else tells me what check this out. So I go buy a new car the other day. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm smart. I'm not going to pay anything off with cash. That's dumb because I can go buy apartment complexes and other things with it.
Right.
That's just my strategy.
Yeah.
So he goes, all right, so you're going to finance. I go, yeah, I'm going to put, 40 grand down or whatever. And he goes,
What'd you get?
Escalade for the family.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So I go, he goes, how much do you make? And I tell him, homeboy drops his pen. This is a car salesman where like they are selling cars like freaking crazy, right?
Yeah.
He drops his pen and I are you okay? And he goes, dude, what? And it was like that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he's like, you tell me, you show me a check for $70,000. I'll quit what I'm doing right now. And he goes, you're dead serious? I go, yeah, here, I should pull up my bank account and I go, look at all my deposits, look at all this stuff. And he was like, wow, what do you do? And I said, one guess. I'll give you one guess. And he goes, real estate. And I go, bing, bing, bing. You got it.
Yep.
Real estate, baby. It is the most powerful thing on the freaking planet. I don't know what I would do without it. So it's John, pays $4.99. That's the price of a Blizzard, ironically.
All right.
What do you say when the seller wants Zillow estimated value as a purchase price and it's a total fixer? Well, first and foremost, you guys already know my answer. I'm a creative finance guy. I do buy a tremendous amount of deals, full retail. I just tell the seller, do you want terms? Or Brent Daniels, what do you teach the TTP squad, brother?
Well, listen, it's, you have to pre-qualify more. What is the motivation? What's the timeline? You know what I mean? Why does he want to sell? Is this somebody that wants to trade in this house and be done for speed and convenience? Or is this somebody that price is the most important thing and they have the timeline to be able to try to get the best price possible? In that sense, in every conversation you have to put them in the best position to win. If it's better for them to list it on the market to try to get more, tell them to list it on the market and refer it to your agent. You know what I mean? Stop trying to convince people of doing something. We are deal finders, not deal creators. So when we're going out there, we need to pull them into our world. They don't determine the price. The person that has a ready, willing, and able buyer, that is the only person that determines value on anything, on this pen, on these cameras, on anything, right? On property.
That's one of my favorite things you've ever said.
It's the truth.
The only person that determines the purchase price of a property is the buyer, not the seller, not you, not Zillow, not Savvy. What's it called? Privy. Not any of that. Nothing.
Not appraisals, not banks.
No agents.
Nobody.
No brokers.
Nope.
Nobody. But the buyer determines the value of the purchase of the house.
That's right.
And so if you have a seller, and we're talking cash because I do create deals all the time in creative finance. We're not going to talk about that today on Wholesale Hotline. But if you have a seller that wants full retail value, does that mean that they have pain?
It could. You have to dig. Listen, they're going to throw out that because they looked it up online. They don't understand. So you need to find out, okay, well, what is the condition? What is the true condition of this property? Okay, great. What is their timeline? They want to sell this now. It's empty. Okay, fantastic. And usually when you get the condition and the timeline, they'll give you the motivation. Tenants moved out. They destroyed it. I don't want it anymore. Yeah. You give me Zillow price and it's yours. Well, Zillow price is based on totally fixed up values. So obviously there has to be a repair budget that goes in there. So then you start talking to them about if you could go in and fix up the property, what would you do to it? Right? And where would you spend your money? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you rehab or renovate or update about this property? And then just let them talk and they'll talk their way down. And if they don't, you move on. 199 people out of 200, the rule of 200. I'm going to just call it. I'm going to steal the Lee Arnold rule of whatever. Rule of 200. You have to talk to 200 distressed property owners to do one deal. And if you get better at that, then you're better at that. But that's the average. So 199 people, well, first 180 people are going to just flat out reject you. 19 of them are going to say that they want retail because they're not truly ready to sell yet. And the one that's serious and ready to go and their timeline matches up and you go there with kindness, optimism, and certainty and have really good conversations with them, you do that deal. And you make $15,000 on average across the country. And if you're in Phoenix, you make 40. If you're in San Diego, you make 100. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how you break it down. It's not you trying to, catch them. It's not going to happen.
I really like this, Marcos. I agree with you. In the world of cash offers and fixing, flipping cash, wholesaling cash deals, I find that your follow-up is where all the deals come from. Okay. Let's see. What'd you say? Oh, you're talking about Ill Mind.
Yeah.
That's ironic. His name is Ill Mind.
Right.
So, it is the deal. So for us, 70% of our deals come from 13 follow-ups or more.
Yeah. We have a rule that if the property's rough, we go to the house no matter what. We're going to go to that. We're going to go on that appointment. We're going to pre-qualify as much as possible. But if we could get just talking to him, get the condition out of him, look at the Google satellite, look at the Google Street View, and it looks rough, we're going on that appointment because they're going to have to get realistic at some point. And the conversation you have is, listen, this is what your neighbors are selling for in similar condition. And we're at the height of the market. Yeah. Do you want to take advantage of the height of the market or not? If you just want to wait, I totally understand. If you want to put it on the market, I totally understand. But if you want this done as smooth and easy as possible, here is the number that makes sense to us.
And guys, we're heading into a shift in conversation and into a shift in mindset. Time. Like, guys, please don't live in a month ago. The conversations we were having with realtors are different a month ago. The conversation you were having with homeowners were different a month ago. Okay, the interest rates have shifted. The markets are turning. We do have inventory starting to creep up in some of the hottest markets in the country. Real estate agents are becoming fearful. You have to capitalize on the shift. Right now is your opportunity to get some of the best buys you will possibly ever get. Taking advantage of people's scarcity mindset and taking advantage of people's literal fear that they're not going to get the price that they want to get because they're going to wait it out too long and the interest rates are going to go up.
Advantage. Yeah. It's the facts.
Yeah. Well, you are leveraging that. You have to leverage the facts. You got to take advantage of that fact.
Finally do that because it's been like this.
It's a new day, guys. It's a good day to be a wholesaler today. I'll tell you that.
Because before you couldn't go in there with a straight face and be like, well, you just never know what's going to go on with this market.
And you know what? There's like what? You can literally say to an agent, "Nah, I think I'll pass." And watch the blood leave from them right now. I'm getting people reaching out to me for offers that we had given, and they're like, "Hey, is your number still good here?" Nope. Everything's changed. The whole market shifted. What's your new number? And I'll go back $30,000 less. Okay, let me work on it. You know what? 30 days ago, they laughed at me. Yeah. Today, their answer is, let me work on it. That's where minds have shifted
from just a couple points of interest rate going
Guys, I'm telling you.
That's why this business is the best. I'm telling you, like, going after discounted properties is the long-term real estate strategy. I'm telling you, whatever your exit strategy, if you want to keep it, if you want to flip it, or if you want to assign it, whatever you want to do, right? If you still have the machine that finds the deals, you always win.
Blooming
you always
Lucy,
win.
I'm upset that the agent didn't want to even present my offer, said that it's too low. Well, first and foremost, Blooming Lucy, that is actually against their agency laws. They are required to present all offers to the person they represent, unless their seller says, do not show me an offer below this number. Okay. So we don't know what's going on in those conversations, but as long as that agent is following the agreement with that seller.
Yeah, it's a listing agreement.
But what I think happened here is she probably inserted a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Why do people do that? Is that a traditional mindset going into a wholesale world?
No, because what ends up happening is that they
Explain
make a
what that means.
Okay, so what people do is they'll make a relationship with, like, say they're doing agent outreach and they have a really good conversation with somebody, and they're like, wow, this girl looks really. They sound really interested, like they're really going to work hard. They're ready to make offers for me. They said that they understand I'm an investor. I'm going to come in low. They said they're going to work. Okay. So they feel this sense of obligation to start writing and sending in offers through that agent, right? Yep. The problem is that what you're doing is inserting friction into the situation. If you are going to a listing agent for a specific deal, write the deal with the listing agent. Don't insert another mouth to feed in the process.
And no offense to you agents out there, but nobody hates an agent more than agent. You guys hate each other so much. It's like Capulets and what Montagues. Okay. Seriously, it is like family feud over there with you guys. Nobody hates an agent more than another agent. All right. So if you're inserting the competition, now what they're doing is they're starting to argue about the letter of the law and the paperwork and the this and the that, and they're trying to justify their paycheck. Your buyer's agent probably, even if it wasn't a problem with the compensation, your buyer's agent very likely will kill the deal for you.
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, also keep you from building that relationship with that listing agent. And if you do the double dip strategy that Jerry Norton talks about, and you talk about it all the time too, you let that listing agent make both sides of the transaction.
Yes.
They're going to crave to work with you over anybody else.
The other, and I've been reading here, people are saying in Texas it's illegal. Some agents do believe it's illegal in Texas. It's not true. But if you are working with an agent who thinks that they're not allowed to do it, then what you say to that agent is, do you have a friend?
That's it.
Do you have somebody close to you in your world that you'd like to refer the business to? Now you've still incentivized them because you've given the deal to their daughter. You've given the deal to their cousin. You've given the deal to Mary. Whoever it is that they want to help, whoever it is that they want to bless is a part of their sphere. They handed that person the deal, right? They're more incentivized to make that deal work because they're going to want to perform for their friend. They're going to want to, do you see how this works? So if they say no to dual agency, fine. Ask them who they can bring to the table to represent you and watch things change.
Jamil, I just want to give you kudos. All these years and years and years of sacrifice and effort to come up with a very quick answer to somebody else's question. This is how you know a badass real estate investor is that they don't have to tell you the whole story. You just know the whole story.
For sure.
And Blooming Lucy came back and confirmed. She says, I didn't sign any contracts with a buyer's agent, which means she did insert a buyer's agent.
He called it.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, that's how you know. That's how you see a gangster right here. He has Thug Life tatted on his arm,
Left arm.
I was gonna say your third nut, but that wasn't Brent. So
No.
No laughs. No.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of a name for it, but it was just going to be. It was going to be super lowbrow.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here we go. Best practices when wholesaling properties with liens, code violations, open permits, seller remedies, or buyer assumes. This is a great question, Brent or Jamil.
Yeah, the buyer will assume it.
Yeah, of course. Now, looking at this, liens, that they should be discharged. That's going to get discharged with a payoff.
Yep.
A code violation should also get discharged once you pay it or do a correction or take it subject to the violation, and the buyer can assume the correction.
Yep.
Same with an open permit. So, yes, the buyer will assume it. The liens is where it's going to get tricky. It's going to be very rare that a buyer is going to want to assume a lien, especially if it's a high amount that's going to change their mathematics for their deal. So everything else, though, I've seen buyers take subject to all the time.
Yeah, I've got a deal in Texas right now, in Arlington, Texas. By the way, a couple people in here are thinking we got 105 people. Guys, we have 650 people watching this live right now between multiple YouTube channels. All right, 650 people live. So shout out to you guys for showing up on a freaking
stupid
Tug Life. I like that. That's good.
So dumb.
Okay, so I've got a property in Arlington, Texas right now. It's got a state tax lien. It's got a judgment. It's got a personal friend who liened the property for a personal loan. And I'm taking all of those things subject to, including the underlying. You've been to the house. It's that big ass house that you did a Bigger Pockets episode in front of in the street.
Oh, in Texas?
Yeah, that Arlington house
is great.
Has four. I'm taking over 4 liens and it still cash flows. And I'm structuring with the liens a long-term payout from my cash flow from my Airbnb will pay those liens down for me. So that's how you do in a creative finance strategy. In a cash strategy, the cash buyer just pays it off at closing. Is that correct?
Yes, or they take it subject to those things.
Give me that Desiree Gonzalez one. That's a great one for Jamil.
Ooh. Top 3 questions that I ask an agent. So first and foremost, I want to ask them, do you come across any houses that are in need of renovation, are in original condition, or in distress situations? Please contact me so that I can be the buyer for that. Second, have they worked with investors in the past? Are they actively investors themselves? I want to get an understanding of how much experience they have in the world of investing. And then lastly, do they work with any fix and flippers? So are they representing anybody that's doing an exit on these types of properties? Which you'll find out, a lot of agents can bring you opportunities, but they can also help sell some of your opportunities as well. We do a lot of dispo through realtors. So I want to know, are you going to be heavy for me on the AC side? Are you going to be heavy for me on the dispo side? Or are you going to be heavy for me on both?
Yep.
And do you have an opportunity? That's the top 3 questions.
Do you come across ugly houses?
Ugly houses.
Do you work with investors?
Do you work with investors?
Do you have cash buyers?
Correct.
Love
Easy
that.
peasy squeezy.
Donald, what's your minimum profit margin to make an Airbnb worth doing? Now, I didn't know this answer until I did about 20. I had about 25 in my portfolio. My average net on every Airbnb right now, net. That's after every expense. You get some, I'm going to say after every expense, and then somebody in the comments is going to say, but does that include this? Yes, it includes
He's
everything.
not talking gross. Gross is gross.
He's talking
Anybody
nut,
that
okay?
talks gross is
Not gross. He's talking nut.
Net.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, we're talking nut. My net on my average Airbnb is $2,200 a month.
That's
great.
So I'm just shooting for $2,000 plus is what I'm shooting for, because I know that's my average. So if I look at a deal and it cash flows $500, here's the question I have. Is it a 0% seller finance? I'll still do that deal. Is it a 7% subject to deal? I'm not going to do that deal, right? There's some underlying things underneath there, but my average Airbnb nets $2,200 a month.
So if it was a 0% seller finance and you netted $1,000 a month, would you still do it?
I would do that because the reality is I'm paying down the mortgage at 100% payment every single month. So
Right.
technically, in my mind, that's to my bottom line.
Yep.
Right. I'm paying that debt off. That's income to me. It's
Right.
not interest going out.
So it's
Right.
really important for Pace, his interest rate, because that determines how long he's going to be
course.
able to actually pay, how long it's going to take him to pay down the asset.
So you have a bunch of these. What is going on with Airbnb? Are they going to be around forever? Are they getting cracked down more? Are they giving licenses? Because there's like, oh, well, the resort community is like lobbying to make sure there's only a certain amount of golden tickets, right?
Yeah.
And in some
Atlanta.
major markets, there
Atlanta,
are.
it's a big deal in Atlanta.
Listen, it's been going on since Airbnb started in Napa Valley.
Right.
I've had students there that talk about it, and those things get really expensive. I mean, if you want to have an Airbnb in that San Francisco Napa Valley,
it's like
area,
in LA. Jamil can't do his own beach house. He can't Airbnb.
I think that's important as a strategy for everybody to understand. Listen, you need to see what's going on locally with Airbnb. Is there somewhere do you talk to Airbnb? Is there someone that's like the master of them that knows like what the strategy is to keep them still? You know what I mean?
I currently have I have two managers. My main manager is Noah Hoffman. Look him up, Noah Hoffman on Instagram. And I think he's managing 30 of my Airbnbs. And I don't even underwrite my Airbnbs anymore. Somebody will send me an address. I've got a deal right now in Myrtle Beach. It's a duplex right on the ocean. I took it over seller finance, 2.11% seller finance. Pretty dope. No balloon, tasty. And I don't even comp the deal. I just send it to Noah. I go, how much will this generate?
Yep.
What's the competition look like?
Yep.
And are there any regulations or issues in that area? What's the law situation? Like Atlanta, I've known for 4 or 5 years that Atlanta's starting to crack down.
Yep.
And now you have to have a golden ticket.
Yep.
But what do I do in Atlanta? I've changed my business model in Atlanta. I have one house that I have a license for. It's my the house Maddox. Yeah, Maddox.
Yeah, Ansley Park.
And then my other 6 properties in Ansley Park. My other 6 Airbnbs in Atlanta have all converted over to Furnished Finder that requires a medium-term rental, 30 days or more.
Yep.
And so I can get around all of that kind of stuff. Awesome. Tony Norton says, how accurate are the Airbnb estimates from AirDNA on Rabu? Rabu is way more accurate than AirDNA. AirDNA is very, very conservative. But what I do is I actually have somebody do a full underwrite. It's the same thing with when I do a cash deal with Jamil. I go, here's the address. Do a full underwrite on this and tell me what this is. I have a professional look at all my numbers. And you know how many deals I've bought where I've been the sole decision maker on a deal? 0.
None.
Literally 0.
None.
I've never once bought a deal where I'm like, I'm going to make this decision on my own. And I didn't have somebody second look at my numbers.
Right.
Whether it's a lender, whether it's my partner, whether it's Jamil on the dispo side, every single time I buy something, somebody else is verifying the numbers.
Yep. That's good. It's like the second, third, fourth line of defense.
Yep.
Especially when you're making investments. Guys, again, if you're having questions, I keep seeing questions about agents. We're going to be doing a huge challenge. Secret Agent Challenge 2.0. The link is in the chat. We have a couple thousand registrants already. We're going to shut this thing down if you do not register in the next day or two, you will not have an opportunity to register.
We are sending it out to the sub 2 students tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about it on my Zoom. You'll probably have 1,000 or more sub 2 students over at that challenge.
And we will be full, guys. Once Pace starts marketing this to the sub 2 community, it will be full. So if you haven't already joined, please register now.
So that starts Monday, ends Friday. So
Correct.
It's a 5-day challenge.
5-day challenge. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, so here's what I wonder, because there's a lot of people that go, well, I can't make it during that time. Can I catch the replay on your YouTube, or are you going to, how do I watch this if I can't watch it?
You have to have registered, and then you will be emailed it. It won't be public.
Okay, and the reason for that is AirMeet, which is a software that Jamil and I both use for these.
Pay.
It's very expensive. It's $1 per person that registers. So you'll
really?
probably, oh yeah, it's
AirMeet
very
is?
expensive.
Yep.
Last year we spent,
Let's make him spend a lot of money.
I think we spent 90 grand last year on AirMeet.
Yeah.
Running these challenges, and it's bonkers. But what happens is everybody that registers then will get emailed the replay the day after. If you don't register, you don't get the replay. Okay.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work to manage these types of things. So guys, don't make this man waste it. Actually, let's waste your money.
That's what I'm saying.
This guy is rich. Let's waste his money.
All right, guys, waste my money and register.
Make sure you register.
The answer to this, what do you guys mean when you're saying that you receive 60,000 passive income without doing anything? How did you guys make that passive? Because I built a business that is a servant to me.
Yeah, I like that
That's
answer. Yeah, it's very true.
In the beginning, you got to trade time for money. You got to go out there. You got to hustle it up. You got to build it yourself. You got to get into your hustle season. And typically, from what I've seen, that takes about 2 to 3 years of really, really going. The first year is really focused energy on building your systems for finding the best way to generate the leads.
Mm-hmm.
And then about year 1, you have a good pipeline of opportunities that start building after 90 days, but really start going after 4 quarters. And then you start bringing in other people because you have too many leads to take care of. So then you bring in killer salespeople. You bring in people that are going to go after these leads, and they're going to do a better job, and they have better skills than you do, and that replaces you in that position. And then you're not pulling the lists anymore, and you're not organizing anything more, and you've got a lead manager doing that. And then you're not even selling your deals anymore because you've trained a dispo person to be able to build your cash buyer database and comp all the deals.
Yeah, it's on a very small level, you're essentially getting an Airbnb and you're getting it up and operational. Like, people think, oh, that's passive income. Well, in the beginning, it's not. You got to go find the deal. You got to fund the deal. You got to manage the Airbnb manager. You got to get the furniture. You got to market. You got to do all this kind of stuff. But once it's there and the systems are built out, it now becomes passive income. It's the same thing with Jamil. 66 deals this man did this month passively.
Yes.
But hold on.
I think about 6 of them.
You have a lot of employees that did that work. That's not passive.
No, and I did about 6 of the 66.
But that's passive for you. But the other 60, that's passive for you because you have systems, processes,
and people
that allow you to do all that. Same thing with Brent Daniels.
Correct.
Your business works for you.
Yes, sir.
5 hours, Ricky. 5 hours a week in my wholesaling business, and that's on the high side.
I think that's about accurate for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's incredible. I'm telling you, this is the best business of all time. If you build it as a business, you just have to understand, do you want to be the owner of the Lakers or do you want to be LeBron? Right? Do you want to just stay in it and be self-employed and have to be on the court all the time and be crushing all the time and doing all the deals all the time? Or do you want to own the franchise?
Jamil, you just passed on a $2 million assignment fee. What's going on?
We're going to take the deal down.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're taking the deal down.
That's amazing.
Yes.
The 53.
Yes.
My goal went from 500 doors added to my portfolio this year to 1,000.
I'm going to help you with 53 of those.
I know, and I'm going to help you with 300 of yours.
Thank you.
We got some good deals coming, and I'm going to bring Brent in on that deal too.
Nope, I'm buying all crypto.
Oh, well, come on, dog.
Just kidding, everybody out there. Don't bring the hate.
You got to save your.
I'm sure
you got to
there's
save
probably
your
some
money
good
for
investments there.
Yeah, I bet there is. Do you have any crypto?
I'm gonna buy gold.
Is that a thing?
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, just
I have a little bit of gold.
Do you have any crypto?
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
I did. I don't anymore. It's all gone. Well, I did have crypto, and I have half the crypto that I had. But I bought my Bitcoin at 6,000. So will I ever lose?
No.
So,
who knows? I mean, there's people say it's going to, Peter Schiff says it's going to go to $0.
Other people say $1 million.
I had $250,000 in combined crypto. I now have $120,000. So let that sink in. It's all good. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll come back.
We did better in Vegas than you did in crypto.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah.
When do you want to go back? I got all them chips, dog.
Wasn't that fun? Wasn't Boston fun?
Oh my gosh.
Bro, when are we going to get TTP on the road?
When are we going to take TTP to Vegas?
Once I heal.
Let's get you a mini jockstrap that two sizes too small.
Just like Jerry.
Yeah, just like
smash
Jerry.
him in there.
TTV, thank the vasectomy.
Yeah.
All right. So Noah Hoffman, guys, I've seen a bunch of people say, who's Noah Hoffman? Noah Hoffman, Airbnb King on IG. All right. Jamil Swayam Singla says, hey, Jamil, how do you, a wholesaler, outreach other than Facebook? And what do you say to them when you first reach out?
Great question, Swayam. So wholesaler outreach is a great way to get your hands on some inventory. The best way that we found to connect with wholesalers are Facebook groups. It's a great place where people congregate, they communicate, they talk. There's TTP Facebook group. There's the Creative Financing Facebook group with Pace. There's Wholesale Hotline, Wholesaling Houses Elite, Superhuman Wholesalers, all these great Facebook groups.
Yep.
In addition to that, we find a tremendous volume of wholesalers on Instagram. So I would go to Instagram and I would start mining hashtags. I would look at wholesaler. I'd look at creative real estate. I'd look at real estate investor, hashtag REI, all these things. I would search those hashtags and then I would connect with wholesalers through Instagram. One place that people are sleeping on where you can find a tremendous volume of wholesalers is LinkedIn.
Yep.
There's a whole schwack of wholesalers on LinkedIn ready to do business. We do a tremendous volume of outreach
That's
to
how
LinkedIn.
I found you.
Yeah, we do a
Through Josiah.
tremendous volume of outreach on LinkedIn. That's a great place. Then you can Google We Buy Houses.
I do, bro. I do this all the time.
Yep.
When people go, how do I find a deal to bird dog? Because my wife primarily bird dogs for us. And I share my screen, I Google, and I call a wholesaler by just Googling We Buy Houses
and Phoenix
then
or whatever.
the city name.
Yeah. So if you Googled We Buy Houses Phoenix, there will be about 5 or 6 pages of people who are paying money to get their website clicked on to buy homes.
Yep.
If they're buying homes and spending all that money on marketing, guess what they have? Inventory to sell.
Yep.
In fact, a lot of times they have inventory on their website.
Correct. The next place that I'm just going to give them all to you. The next place I go is I get into my car and I start driving around and I take a picture of all the bandit signs that are on every corner of every street. I take a picture of all of them and then I go home and I call them all because if they're buying houses on the corner, guess what they're doing? They're selling them to me. Okay. The next place where I'm going to find wholesalers is networking events, live networking events, whether it be digitally like here or personally at a RIA. I'm going to go shake hands with and connect with people at networking events. I think I just gave you enough game for you to make $1 million this year.
I got 2 more.
Yes.
Title companies.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Okay. Yep. So when I first jumped into the game, that's what I did. I went to title companies. I said, who's doing wholesale deals? And a lot of the title companies say, we can't give our clients information away. And I go, no problem. Here's my information. Would you mind emailing your clients that are like your top 2 or 3 wholesalers that are constantly opening up escrows here? And that's how I started building relationships here locally. I had no idea that Privy was a thing or batch leads wasn't even invented.
Right.
Batch leads did not even exist at the time. So I did that. The second thing where I got a couple of my first deals is from a property management company.
Yes, great. And private money lenders or hard money lenders.
Okay, so property.
How about the guys that bid at the auctions?
There's a whole bunch of them guys, especially in Phoenix. I feel like we have like a whole syndicate of those guys.
Go to the trustee, go to the foreclosure auctions, go to the tax sale auctions, go to all those auctions. I'm telling you, it's right there. Those people represent so many buyers.
Andre Wright, I'm going to address this for everybody. Please take out your sticky notes. All right. Andre Wright says, Jamil, your challenge says it starts at 10 a.m. But I have a full-time job. What's the schedule going to be each day? So Andre, I'm going to give you a suggestion. make sure you register regardless so that you get the replay, my brother. And don't take off. I'm going to tell you guys, don't take off work. Please be smart. Don't take off work. Don't jeopardize yourself. Make sure you just register so you get to watch the replay every single day.
And it's at 8 a.m. Okay. There's a time change. It's starting at 8 and it goes till 10 a.m. Pacific. Okay.
I have a challenge coming up. I'm
What is it?
not going to start talking about it until next week after your challenge, but it's my 30-day challenge where I'm moving to Tacoma.
Are you excited for that?
I mean, you get to a point where you're making a lot of money and your life is very comfortable.
Yep.
And you start flying first class and you start living in a big house with, all the things. And you go, I'm going to go live in Tacoma, Washington for 30 days.
But that's why you bought a big old juicy Escalade.
Right. So, that's the thing is that Brent, you made a comment
You're gonna live in
earlier.
the Escalade?
No, we were thinking about taking the
Airstream?
the Airstream, but it's too small for 30 days.
Yeah.
In one location. So you made a comment earlier, which I really loved, and you said that you no longer call sellers unless it's for content.
Yeah.
I have a problem. My problem is I'm addicted to talking to sellers.
I know you are.
It truly is something that gives me joy.
Yeah.
And I love it. It is so fun for me. I don't know if it's because I'm good at it or if I just love to, yak my mouth, but I love doing it. And so I'm really looking forward to building Robin's business for her during those 30 days. We will be live streaming it for 30 days. I will overwhelm everybody. We will be live streaming basically 8 hours a day. You'll be seeing me eat lunch, breakfast, breaking everything down, going out in the field, actually running the business. You'll see, it'll be like an open office.
Yep.
I won't be talking about it and giving the link away until after Jamil's challenge, because I want people to focus on that. That starts on August 1st to September 1st for
Awesome.
1 full month.
Whoa, bro.
I know.
It's going to be insane.
Insane.
I'm going to come visit.
I know. We got it. We're finding a place where we'll have like a little guest house. So you can stay.
Amazing.
Let's see.
August 1st to September 1st.
Alejandro Alvarez doing great on the content, by the way. Would you guys ever do real estate outside the country, and what are the challenges? My quick answer is absolutely not. I will not do real estate outside of the country. The reality is I can't handle all the opportunities that are happening inside the country. So this is a common question, Alejandro. You get people like, hey, we got great opportunities in Brazil. Great. I got great opportunities in Arizona that I can't handle all the deals that are currently coming to me.
Yeah, the issue that you run into, because I've looked into it, looked into buying property in Tulum, and you have to really, really, really make sure that the title is clear.
Yeah, and that you trust the government.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't.
Right. I mean,
I don't even trust the Canadian government.
Well, yeah, I don't.
saying.
It's like, yeah, there's so many good buys here. There's so many good opportunities here that I know that I'm going to make more. And I think that it's, I get it. Like if you buy into a dope place and then it explodes, it's very romantic, right? Like every time I go to Kauai, I'm like, I'm going to buy something. I'm going to buy this $10 million house on the beach. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to finally do it. I've got the money. I've got it. Let's just go and do it. And then you're like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I could get out here all the time, and I can't Airbnb it.
It's not duplicatable.
So
it's not duplicatable. And
I just stay focused.
You're gambling. And I, who I listened to over the weekend is Dave Ramsey for 2 hours.
Sure.
Gives really great advice, also gives horrible advice for our demographic.
Right. Yes.
Right. For other demographics, Dave Ramsey is absolutely what people should be listening to. People that live in fear.
Scaredy weirdies.
Wait, did I say that out loud?
Chicken Littles.
People that really want to retire with $1 million or $2 million. Dave Ramsey.
He speaks really well to employees.
There you go. And we don't have employees here. People in our world want to be entrepreneurs, right? They're aspiring entrepreneurs, so they get it. So I'm listening to him, and his advice was really good. You've got to have duplicatable efforts, things that you can do over and over and over again. And if you're going out and trying to invest in romantic real estate, that's really hard to automate that. Yeah. You can't automate that. It's really hard. Yep. And by the way, every other country in the whole entire world wants to invest in us. So why would we invest outside of the country?
Yeah, I don't know.
We the shit.
I mean, you could go on Airbnb and stay in like the nicest places around the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why would you have to buy them? And then it becomes a whole hassle.
Right.
Yeah. anyway.
I think the challenge is Alejandro Alvarez is now, he's doing a great job on his content on his Instagram. So guys, go follow Alejandro Alvarez. He's doing what Brent has been telling everybody.
Get loud.
Get loud.
Mhm.
And what happens is you start getting people DMing you and going, hey, I've got an opportunity here. I've got an opportunity here. I got a deal in Mexico. And you're like, maybe I should look at that. No, do not. Do not. All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Just curious. How much was your first assignment fee? Mine was $25,000. Everybody knows the story here. Finding the bunnies story was $25,000. Jamil, yours was $47,500.
47,000 and change. Walking my dog.
47,000. Walking his dog.
Rest in
David
peace,
Steed.
Mash.
David Steed, the attorney, helped you do a skip transfer in Canada. You invented wholesale, dog.
In Canada, I did.
Were you wearing cargo shorts that went almost down to your ankles?
Yes, those are called Canadian pants.
Yeah, cants.
Mhm.
Hot. It's so hot. Mine was around 5,500.
5,500.
3% of 170. So whatever that is.
It was the fuse. Here's the thing that Brent's was. Brent's was the fuse to the dynamite that is TTP community. That $5,500 might as well be $55 billion.
Bazillion. Yep.
Gazillion.
Yeah, I mean, it's proof of concept.
Guys,
faith to fact. You got to cross that bridge from faith to fact, guys, as fast as possible.
I don't know about you, but I'm nuts about this episode.
I am nuts about it. I've got so much nuts.
Honestly, though, the entire time I was just like ready to burst. I was like, I don't know if I could hang around here any longer.
Sometimes, when things are going good, you got to really stretch yourself,
Yes.
You got to really stretch it. Yep. Anyway, we love you guys. Join me Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Ugly House's Big Checks Show. Ugly House's Big Checks Show. We've got Compton, straight out of Compton.
Yeah, we're still working through some issues right now with YouTube and Compton because of the addresses. But yeah, we'll be back soon, guys. Keep checking in.
Follow me on Brent Daniels' show on Wednesday this week.
Are you coming?
No, I'm going to be in the side chat.
Okay.
I'm going to be squatting up with you guys. I need private lenders. I need people to sell me deals. I need people to dispo deals for me. I need an acquisition person. I need admin. You know what's funny is I can find all of those things in your side chat.
For sure. Yep. We'll see you then. Thank you for joining us for Wholesale Hotline number 120. We love
Happy
you.
Memorial Day!
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say that thing.
Why?
I don't know. I
Okay.
forgot. So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.